Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Eastleigh save, where today we're taking on Chelsea. We are a good 28 games into the season, and as you can see, we are just outside the relegation zone by 1 point. We've got a better goal difference than Swansea, who's just below us, but we've also got a point above them. Now, we have gone through January and we've gone through kind of the 2 months period since our last game. Obviously, we lost in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Following that defeat, though, we did get a draw against Leicester and Arsenal, which were very good. A win in the FA Cup against Oxford, which was quite comfortable. Fortunately, we did lose to Southampton and Liverpool. But then there was a win against Swansea, a loss against Man City, which we played very well in, a win in the FA Cup fourth round against Sheffield Wednesday, a smashing of Norwich 6-1, and a draw against Villa. All kind of set us up for a decent little run. We did okay over the last 2 months. We did lose to Norwich and Man City, as mentioned, and we also lost to Man United just in the FA Cup second round. But to be fair, again, 2-0 away from home at Man United, who are top of the league. Not too bad. We're taking on Chelsea today, who are in 7th, so they're not having the best of seasons. And hopefully we'll be able to get something from the game. We have stuck to our guns with the 4-3-3. It's the best one we've kind of worked with. We have changed things around slightly. When out of possession, we have a massive gap in between. You wouldn't think it works, but it seems to have worked a lot better. The balls over the top are much more limited, and we seem to have players that are able to get up and down the pitch. So it seems to have worked okay. Transfers wise, though, one thing to note: Ben Elliott will be joining us at the end of the season. His £10 million move to Rennes. He has been playing in Liga, so he's got that top level experience now. So that's quite good. But like I say, we have managed to bring him back into the side on a free at the end of his contract, which is, make 10 million and bring him back a year later. I'm pretty happy with that. I think he'll be a good bit of experience in the side for sure, especially as the likes of Patino wants to leave, as he doesn't think he's good enough or something. I'm not entirely understanding it, but yeah, he's supposedly a championship player. He was doing all right for us, and he was having game time, so I don't quite understand. But we've cut that down completely now. If he's not going to want to stay, we'll get rid of him. We'll bring in Elliott back. And the other one, what we have signed is we have signed a Brazilian Boracha from Sao Paulo, 1.5 million striker. Looks pretty decent. Looks like he could develop into something quite nice. At the moment, kind of working at a Sky Bet League 2 level. But can certainly improve and become a decent striker in the future. Some good pace, great finishing for such a young age, technique as well. 18 years old, played already for the under-20 Brazil team, so hopefully he'll develop quite nicely. But other than that, we've been very limited with funds. We've only just been able to get into the positive. Let's jump into the game though. We'll take Patino out, as we mentioned. We don't really need to have him playing, to be honest, at all. Otherwise, that is probably what we'll stick our lineup with, thinking about it, with Magoma coming in there. What else we got? I think that's good. So Pereira in goal, who's been doing okay. Ramsey at right back, Sepulveda at centre half with Magoma, Sukarlo at left back, Ibrahim, Sletta and Mateo in midfield, with Lang and Thomas Hill, who's coming in as a winger just because our other two wingers in Conway and Jay Hoon have been awful this season. So he's going to come in and try and see what he can do on that left-hand side. And then Carlos Garcia up top, our 21-year-old. He's won the Golden Boy. So I'm a little bit worried that he's going to be poached from us at the end of the season because he's been very, very good this year. 21 goals just kind of says it all. And he's probably the only reason why we're still got a chance of surviving this season. But a throw in forward, Lang manages to nod that down to Sletta. Only a couple minutes in and it's switched over to Hill. Sukarlo looks forward again to Hill. He's got a bit of space to drive into. Can he look for a pass? He looks out wide for the overlap of Sukarlo. Driving forward. What can he do? Deliver a ball. Carlos Garcia, can he get there? He does, but it's just over the bar, so not quite troubling the keeper as we'd hoped. But not a bad start really against a decent Chelsea side who are, like I say, they're 7th, so they're still fighting for Europa spots and they could still get into the Champions League. With Tottenham and Arsenal being very, very close by. Man United are just too good in this game, aren't they? I mean, they're not that good in real life. There needs to be some sort of modification to the game because that's not real. We know that's not real, that's for sure. 15 minutes gone though, and it's been very, very quiet. Not much is happening, which to be fair, I'll be fine with. If we can get a draw out of this, more than happy with that. That's not a worry at all. Swansea are taking on Man City, so to be honest, I'm expecting them to lose, which means we've got a little bit of leeway with if we do end up losing the game or anything like that. But I think we could. I mean, from the looks of how things have started, we're looking pretty decent. Ibrahim doing well to win the ball there. Lays it back to Magoma so we can kind of start our own attack. Ball straight forward over the top. Thomas Hill's not going to get there, but the ball is then cleared forward. Jeremy, Paolo Bernardo, who looks just straight over the top to Mount, which is the one thing we're trying to avoid. It's just those balls over the top by having a deeper line. Didn't seem to work there as the ball was played over. Mason Mount absolutely outpaced our 2 centre-halves. Got through on goal. Pereira wasn't able to stop him. And unfortunately, that late run by Mount in the midfield, which we tried to do as well, we weren't able to deal with. It's strange that so many teams are playing a 4-4-2. Like, it's like we're going back to the good old days of the classic old school 4-4-2 style. Maybe that's something we need to implement. I don't think it will be, especially at this stage. We need to have more players in the midfield, and we need a better striker for Carlos Garcias to partner with. Because to be honest, Carl Hudlin's probably not the quality we need at this level. He has scored though. That's a good point. In the Norwich game, he did score a header. So it's quite nice to see that he's scored at every level he's played at, all the way from the National League up to the Premier League. So, you know, it's always good to see, and it might just keep him in the the best 11, even though I think Carlos Garcia, if he stays at the club for another year, might just get in front of him anyway. I don't think there's much chance of Hudlin keeping hold of that mantle for too long. But Stefanovic, ball delivered in. It is cleared initially. Ibrahim managed to get another head on it, but Mount is just going to get that and try and deliver another one, I expect, from the right-hand side. No, plays back to Bernardo, and then to James again. Reece James taking his time into Romero, switching it ball across to Quinones, forward to Havertz, who's round the corner to Stefanovic, into Nicholas Dibble, who's running down this left-hand side, gets to the byline, cuts it back across. It's a great challenge to stop Kai Havertz from getting a shot away, and the ball is ended up being cleared as they look to start to really, really dominate the game now. We had a good start, but it's kind of got out the window now after that 1-0, and there's a header again. Mason Mount scoring that. We are nowhere near him. I mean, it's a corner. You just have to mark your men, at least give him a challenge, and if he manages to beat you in the air, fair enough, but he's not even marked. It's such a free header. Look at this. I'm guessing it's Matteo who's meant to be marking him, and he's meant to be able to play centre-half as well. Don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. With 35 minutes gone, 2-0 down. Shall we go a bit more attacking? Why not? Might as well. We're already 2 down. I don't think conceding much more is going to make much of a difference. Although, I mean, goal difference-wise, could affect us in that sense. Swansea are still drawing with Man City, which is frustrating. Corner in again, though. And this time, Magoma is able to get up and put some pressure on to prevent them from getting the ball on target. As we reach half-time, it's not been a great game, has it, for us? We've not done fantastically well. Thomas Hill's not... I mean, maybe it's just his left-hand side. We've just had an awful, awful run of things. Kim Jae-hoon, you're the most amount of money we've spent on anyone. You're going to come on. And Ortega's going to come on in that Mazzara role. Why not? We've got one more sub just in case something happens and we need to make a change, but at this stage, I'll be honest, it probably wouldn't matter if we did. We'd probably play better if we went down to 10 men. probably wouldn't be too much of an issue. Reece James, though, with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Here we go. Just inside the first 5 minutes of the second half. Mason Mount on the edge again, who's been influential in the game, scoring the 2 goals. Jeremy turns, plays it across to Zaniolo, whose shot is saved by Pereira and goes out for a corner. Yeah, we've got a little bit of trouble going into this second half. Ball's in, back post, head over the bar. We maybe did enough to cause some issues, but again, it's not good enough. As Chelsea have a corner here, one good thing to note is that Man City have taken the lead. Giovanni Reina getting the goal for them. So we've got that little bit of comfort zone again by that 1 point. Even if we do lose today's game against Chelsea. I mean, it's not been awful, but it's not been good, has it? As the ball came over for Zaniolo to volley towards Pereira, who was able to deal with that. He's made a few good saves to keep us in the game here. Magoma's received the header down. Kim Jae-hoon loses out there, but Sukalo is able to latch onto it again. Magoma out wide to Sukalo. He looks for a long ball forward into Carlos Garcia, who's looked round the corner to Ortega, who loses the ball, but then finds Garcia again, whose long-range effort goes just wide of the post. I mean, we might as well have a shot. We've not had many, and that does add to our tally, so that's quite nice. We're maybe a bit more likely to score if we have a shot, you know. That tends to be what happens. But with 25 minutes to go, not looking likely that anything really is going to happen. We might look to make another change as we reach 20 minutes. Let's look to sort this out. Carl Hudlin can come on from Carlos Garcia. There's no point risking any injuries. We're not giving him any opportunities. He's having to try and create his own. Fair play to him, to be fair. But Carl might give us a bit more of a different dynamic up top. They might not. Quinonez and Romero might not like a 6'9" striker coming on the pitch. I mean, I don't think anyone would. It's always going to be a bit of a nightmare when he struts on there. So, you know, for the last 10 minutes, cause him a bit of a different problem rather than a pacey Carlos Garcia. Sleta does well there to win that off that pass. I mean, that pass, though, is dreadful. Carl Hudlin's going to be causing issues, and he's won the ball back. Ortega into Kim Jae-hoon. Looks over the top to Lang, whose header is... I mean, Lang doesn't get anywhere near it. And it ends up back in Bazunu's hands for a roll out, who looks forward again, but Ramsey's got there. Not a great throw. So Lang's able to get onto that pass. He drives forward now, running in circles by the looks of it. Ortega back to Magoma again, who's got a little bit of pressure on him, but finds Ortega. He then looks to switch the ball out to Lang, who looks for the overlap of Ramsey. Can he get a delivery into the box? It could be something. Carl Hudlin up with the header just over the bar. But there you go. Something different, causing a different problem for Chelsea this time. Maybe that is something we need to do. Get Carl and Garcia up top, you know. Go old school, route one. Hit it up to the target man and lay it down for the pacey other striker. We might have to look at doing something like that. But... as we reach the end of the game, it will be, well, hopefully stays 2-0. I hope we don't concede another one in the dying moments as Chelsea do come forward once again. Kai Havertz on the left-hand side. He's going to look to cut it back to Chilwell. Ball into the box. Zaniolo is at the back post who heads towards Pereira, but it is easily caught. Man City's got another goal, so that's going to affect Swansea's goal difference once again. Matches us, so that's quite nice. Hudlin's header. Not quite able to find anyone as they come forward once again. I mean, they've still got 2.5 minutes to get another goal here as the ball's played through to Stevanovic. He's coming forward. We haven't been able to kind of usher him out wide, but he looks back to Chilwell. Lang's kind of fallen asleep there. Led to the ball into Zaniolo. And there's the third. It was coming. I think it was coming. I mean, we did quite well considering that we managed to hold out in the second half. We definitely performed better in the second half. Not fantastic. Can't say we were good, but we were better than we were in the first half. And that's kind of how things have gone throughout the season. We've done okay. And I think we might just survive on okay if we're lucky. But yeah, with what 9 games to go, I think it is now. Let's just double check that. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 games to go. It could go down to the wire. Certainly, we've got obviously that 1 point there. I don't know who we've got to take on. We've got Brighton in the next game, but it'll be interesting to see how things go. But there you go. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And of course, I will see you in the next one.